Hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here, and you know what? I thought it would be a lot of fun to take you guys through and show you my desk that I've been using for the last 30 years. A lot of you guys ask me, what desk am I using? Where did that desk come from? Well, this is the same desk that I used for my 21 years while I was at Disney. When I left Disney back in 2010, I was able to take my desk with me. This is the same desk I animated Nala from The Lion King on. I animated the Beast. I animated Rajah from Aladdin, and so many other characters that I've done. This desk means the world to me. Like I said, I've had this desk for 30 years, and I thought it would be fun to take you through and show you just how well designed these desks were made. But let me show you. Not only is it a beautiful desk, but it's very functional. One of the things is, this is where the disc goes, and there's a light table or light inside there. And so this is my animation disc where I would do all of my animation all on paper, and you can rotate it. And it just makes it much more, just easier to draw when you have that ability to rotate like that. And I can turn my light on, and you can see there's my light table. And lots of years of use, 35 years. So it's not pristine, but it's got beautiful wear and tear to it that only I did. Matter of fact, I wanted to show you something right here. If you look down here, there's this scratched in image of a lion. And I did this in December of 1992. I scratched this into my desk the day that I started working on The Lion King, my very first day. It was after I had finished up on Aladdin, and it was my first day switching over to The Lion King, and I scratched this into my desk using graphite and an X-Acto knife, and then I spray fixed it. And it's been there for 33 years. It's been right there on my desk. So it's a very cool little piece of memorabilia. But once again, everything's very functional. So I've got this little spring up here. What's the spring for? Well, the spring is there to hold your pencils. You put your pencils up in there, all your little, everything fits right up in there. So a lot of people would have a whole line of pencils up here. And then you see over here, I've got a clip, this clip. Well, that's a weird thing to have on a drawing desk. Well, that clip was there to hold our exposure sheets. Now, exposure sheets are basically the roadmap for animation. When you're doing your animation and you're numbering your drawings, they go on the exposure sheet, and that exposure sheet goes with the scene, goes to camera, and then they know exactly how to shoot the scene, all based on how everything's laid out on the exposure sheet. Basically, it's saying how to expose each drawing. And that would go from department to department, and that would be the roadmap for the shot. So this is where the exposure sheet would go, and you would write over here. Now, I was left-handed. I was one of the few guys in the studio who was left-handed, so everything is opposite. So when I would work on the exposure sheet and have to fill it out, I always had to reach over and work this way. But they have it set so for right-handed people, well, I'd be flipping on this side, as you're drawing, you can come up here and you fill out your exposure sheet and go back to drawing. Very efficient. Obviously, we've got lots of different shelves here for everything, like I was talking about for our maquettes. But also, main right here, we got stacks of paper. This is where we would keep, most of the time when I was at the studio, my paper was all the way up to here. I had about 1,000 sheets on my desk at any given time. And you would go through it, and you would draw. It was very, very cool. I've got more paper over here. Now, let me show you this. Now, as you're working, this is very worn out over years. As you're working, you can see we've got these slide out little shelves, and you could lay your shot right here. You might have rough drawings, you might have other drawings that you're working on, so you lay out everything right here, you grab it, and you lay it down onto the peg bar, which is right here, and as you finish, I put them over here. It was a very efficient way of setting things up, okay? So you had a lot of, what was great about this desk is that it could open and give you lots of surface area to kind of spread out. I knew a lot of the guys at the studio that were they were such slobs, and they would have everything opened up and just piled up. So you just have these piles of paper all around you, and they looked like this little guy in amongst a big junk pile of paper. But anyway, so there's this is the slide out shelf where you can put your drawings. Then in here, this has kind of become my my junk drawer of art supplies. So I've got every kind of pen, marker, pencil holder, graphite holder, pastel, charcoal, palette knife, anything you can think of, I've got in here. A kneaded eraser. So this has kind of turned into that for me. And very handy. And I actually come in here and, when I need a brush pen, hey, I got a brush pen. So there's that. Now check this out. This is very cool. Open up. There's the big drawer right here. Now one of the cool things about these drawers, you can see the dividers. Now I can take this out and I can go, okay, I don't want this kind of space. I want this kind of space right here. And you can adjust the size of your spaces in here. It's all adjustable, which I just love. And I mean, they really thought of everything. There you go. Get this. So we've got a drawer that comes out, and then within the drawer, we've got more drawers. So it's space within space within space. It's very, very well thought out. And I've always loved this desk. We've got that. Plus, I've got more space under there, where I've got palettes, more pencils, and I've got another space in here where I used to put a lot of books in here, in this little section down in there. Anyway, so then over here, we've got the other side, and I've got another drawer, more stuff in there, and then we'll open up this drawer. Now this one's really cool because this one has lots of vertical stackers in here, or slots, and I keep a lot of different drawing pads, watercolor, blocks, all kinds of stuff. And at one time we would keep shots in here, all kinds of things. So it's a very efficient, very artfully, tastefully done desk, and built very, very well. The top part of the desk actually lifts off, and then with just a couple of bolts, the whole mechanism that brings the desk up and down, that comes out as well, which I just remembered I didn't show you. I want to show you how this can be adjusted. So I have a thing here that I did. Yeah. There's a little hydraulic piece right here, a lever that releases. So this, it just lifts up and down. You can adjust it and then just lock it back into place. But this is it. This is my animation desk. This is the desk I've had for over 30 years now. And it's just a beautiful, well-made desk with lots of memories. And it was just, my time at Disney were some of the best years of my life, and I just really, really loved working there. And this is such a great reminder of those times. And these desks also, they're in museums around the world. They're really sought after, so I consider myself very, very lucky to have one of these. And it's one of my, it's the pride of my studio. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of history, a little bit of kind of looking back into how we made our films at Disney back through the 90s and all the way back to the 40s as well, when Ken Weber was designing stuff for the studio back then. But these were made for the animation studio specifically in Orlando, Florida back in 1989. I've had it ever since then, and it's beautiful. So thanks for joining me, and go on out, put some beauty back into the world, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that and you're interested in some nice art education, then go on over to my website, creatureartteacher.com, where I've got all kinds of deals. Like right now, I've got a character design course on sale right now for $1. So go on over, creatureartteacher.com, put some beauty back into the world, and I'll talk to you next time.